Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you watched the previous video. In this video, I'm going to talk about Booktrek 2024 Star Trek Summer Readathon. I became aware of this readathon after watching a video by Fred at Read by Fred. Now I'm just going to read what Fred said about this readathon, both to credit those who are behind it and to explain it for those who might be interested. Booktrek, the 2024 Frontier. These are the voyages of readers like you and me. Its 3-month mission to explore Star Trek fiction, to seek out new authors and new adventures, to boldly read what many may not have read before, or at least not in a while. Join us for #Booktrek2024, the Wrath of Summer of Trek, a fun and enjoyable journey into the world of Star Trek fiction. All you need to do is read at least one Star Trek fiction novel to participate. In addition, if you choose to, you can take part in one of 2 away missions. Mission 1 is read a nonfiction science book. Mission 2 is read a book about Star Trek, biography, production history, Trek-related books, etc. Our captain for this mission is Vin at Revenant Reads. Our bridge officers are Steve at St. Donahue, Michael at Michael Vaughn, 8617, Brandy at the Book Eclectic, Gareth at Book Songs and Other Magic, Randy at Literate Texan, and Fred at Read by Fred. Be a crew member. Join in on the fun. William Shatner forever. Our original Captain Kirk, William Shatner, is a good sport. This clip of him singing a duet of Total Eclipse of the Heart made my day. I'll try to link the video, but I sometimes have problems linking videos. So I'm sure you could search that video if you wanted. I imagine it's probably easy to find. Next, I'm going to talk about the books I plan to read. I plan to read a book each from Star Trek the Original Series, Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager. The Star Trek the Original Series book that I'm going to read, I'm actually partway through the book. It's A Contest of Principles by Greg Cox. I previously read 55 pages of it, and I put it aside not because I didn't like it, but I'm very much an emotional reader, a mood reader. I did quite enjoy what I read to that point. I actually thought of reading that book from a previous video of Fred. I read by Fred. He piqued my interest in Star Trek novels again. I hadn't read any for years, actually. And I read another novella after Fred's earlier video called Miasma, also by Greg Cox from the original series, and I quite enjoyed it. It was projected about 20 years in the future, and I thought they did a great job being true to the characters while still aging them up and showing how people can somewhat mellow as they get older. The Star Trek The Next Generation book I plan to read is A Time to Be Born by John Vordenholt. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine book I plan to read is Emissary by J.M. Dillard. And the Star Trek Voyager book I plan to read is Homecoming #1 by Christy Golden. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine book is set actually in the time of the series. The other 3 books are toward the end of the missions of the starships, or even much later, as in the case of the Star Trek Original Series books. I kind of like that because I like how they're talking about things that weren't covered on the show. I couldn't find one for Deep Space Nine. Perhaps I didn't look hard enough. Anyway, those are the 4 books that I plan to read. And I know I only need to read one, but I figured I'd like to read one of each of the series. I should say, too, that I watched the first 4 series, but I didn't watch any of the series since. And I saw a fair amount of movies, too, but I think all those movies were from probably first 2 series even, I think, Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation. Maybe even just Star Trek The Original Series. I know there's been a lot more movies. And I also plan to do both away missions. The nonfiction science book I plan to read is A City on Mars, Can We Settle Space? Should We Settle Space? And Have We Really Thought This Through? By Kelly and Zach Weinersmith. And the book about Star Trek I plan to read is Making It So, a memoir by Patrick Stewart. I'm just going to say an unpopular opinion about the Star Trek series that I watched. I know it's not held by too many people. But of those first 4 series, and as I said, those were the 4 that I watched, I like Star Trek Voyager best. I know that's not a common opinion, but it was my favorite of the 4. Going forward, as far as my videos, I think what I'm going to try to do is that I'm going to try to do a weekly wrap-up of my reading. The books that I read, the books that I may have purchased, any books I completed, a review if that book doesn't fit in with some other video I did. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about other hobbies in my life, other things going on. So I'm going to try to do that on a weekly basis. Probably try to record the video on Saturdays and release it on Sundays. And then I'm going to do another video probably that I'll release on Tuesday or probably Wednesday. I'm going to try to get on a more set schedule. That's Wednesday video may be a tag video. It may be something else in my reading. Maybe if there's some commonality of 2 or more books, I might do a review video. But that's what I'm going to try to do going forward. If you do plan to take part in Booktrek 2024 Star Trek Summer Readathon, and you'd like to do a video about that, I'm sure I'd be interested in seeing it. Or if you'd like to reply in the comments if you plan to take part and what books you plan to read, I'd be interested in seeing that too. Or any other memories you might have had of Star Trek if you enjoyed any of the series, including ones I haven't seen. I'd be interested in reading that too. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please hit the bell so you get notifications when I upload further videos. Hope you have a wonderful day.